We thought we'd spend a little time talking about what it's like to parent twins, and you two obviously have experience with this, but there are a lot of things you need to keep in mind. Your first tip, Karyn, is that you have to remember they are their own person.
They're their own person, and to really think about when they were little babies, one would want to breastfeed, one would not. One would want to nap, one would not. Like, they really are two totally different people that just happen to have the same birthday.
Janice said something interesting. She says, I'm always aware not to call them the twins. So what do you mean by that?
Well, just because they are so, mine are especially so, they look so different, they behave so different, and stop giving them that title and call them by their names. And for me, it's easy, like in the house, it'll be like, Keely, and then the twins. I'm like, Keely and Colin Lachlan. So to try and just keep them as individuals and less as this kind of packaged deal.
Very important. Yes.
Okay, they got to be independent. They have a special bond.
They have a special bond. When I found out I was having twins, I would read all the books I could on the topic. And I had read about this, and I didn't know if it was actually true, but until actually I had the boys. They really do prefer their parent, they really do prefer their twin over their parent.
Right.
And so when they're upset, they tend to go to each other first before they actually come to me. And if you don't know that, a lot of parents could kind of take that personally. But even my one little guy, he's like, Mommy, I love you so much, but I love Chase just a little bit more. I'm like, oh, honey. I said, you know what? I know. I said, babes, that's okay. I totally get it. I totally get it. You have something that and so it's really important that parents don't take that personal.
Right.
Yeah.
And you find that with your boys.
Absolutely. Like if something happened, one would come to me, like I'm taking care of at least her. The other one immediately goes to the freezer, gets the boo-boo buddy, comes back and is like patting his back, and here you go. So they're definitely, if I wasn't around, they're in good hands.
That is so
cute. That's why we all want to have a twin. We all want to have a twin.
I wish I had a twin. You look at the audience, it's like, I want one.
We all want to be you.
How do I get one of those? We talk about the bond, but to the point where they comfort each other in their crib.
Oh my goodness!
I think that would be the most precious.
Oh my goodness! It is the cutest thing. And when they were really little, I remember one was crying, and again, this is one of those things that you read about. You're like, gosh, is this really true? One would be crying, and I would roll up the brother right close to it, skin to skin, like as close as they, and it would completely calm them. That they really could sense that kind of emotional comfort from their brother. Yeah.
Barron and Chase, like two peas in a pod, huh?
Oh my goodness,
Absolutely love each other. Okay, start saving because it's expensive.
It is expensive.
If you have twins on the way, that's something to keep in mind.
Yes.
You can do it. You just got to be organized.
You've got to be organized. You've got to be really creative. For a lot of people, like there's not a lot of, for us, we don't have any other kids. So it was kind of going from nothing to two of everything. So we have no hand-me-downs. And now we're just, like everything is like two of everything.
Right.
Diapers are about $200 to $250 a month.
Yes.
Like it's expensive. And I know you have other kids. And are your kids older?
Yes.
So at least you were able to kind of use that.
Yes, but you couldn't, again, like the car seat, then you still need another car seat.
Right.
And the strollers, a single stroller.
And you had to get probably a bigger car.
Yes.
The car thing is a really big issue.
It's huge.
3 kids can fit nicely into a car. 4 is like a whole other issue.
Yeah.
It's very expensive.
You have to think about if you're going to be going away with your family, like vacations and stuff. I mean, for 4, for sure.
Yes.
For 2, it's about.
Yes, for 2, it's totally, but definitely you want to start planning out the finances. Very important.
Got it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about not just the sleep schedule, but the poo schedule.
The poo schedule.
I only mention this because, you kind of need charts to keep track of things. I remember when the kids were young, how important that whole schedule, like to stay on top of that was. Now, if you're like doubling the pleasure,
that's right.
You got to stay on top of both.
Yeah. So
how do you manage that?
Well, you know what? We were our boys were preemies, so we actually we were at an awesome hospital. They were there for 2 weeks after they were born. I had these awesome nurses that said, Karyn, I've put these kids on a schedule. You've got to keep them on their schedule, and here are your little charts. Just follow with what I've done. I felt like I got a little bit spoiled because this amazing nurse, Rose, I still remember her name, she kind of like set this all up, and I basically took her little charts. It's like the poo and the pee chart, because otherwise you really cannot keep track of who is doing what, when they're actually sleeping. Like, it's completely kind of confusing. So we'd have our little charts, and then whoever comes over, they're like, what's up with the poo chart? I'm like, I know, it's just for the kids, don't worry. But really, like, honestly, you can't, it's really hard. It's so confusing, and you're going on very little sleep,
and you're tired.
And you're tired. So you need systems to kind of help yourself get organized.
Yes. Did you do any kind of a poo chart?
Oh my goodness, I was in a haze for a solid year. Absolutely, I still have them, and it was just always. Yeah. Well, as in like I kept the.
Yeah, me too. You don't have this in the bathroom or anything.
But since we're talking about poo, I actually found it so interesting. So 2 kids, born exactly the same time, same age, eating exactly the same food at the same time.
Different poo.
Different poo.
Weird.
Different poo.
Wow.
I'm totally not looking at you funny at all.
Wow. You guys have different poo.
That's what I thought. Like they're really, truly so different.
Yeah, they really are. They're their own people.
Yes.
We talked about this a little bit before, but you're saying sometimes it might be a little bit easier to have 2 at the same age than it is to have 2 at different ages, because at some point they're just a couple of kids. Like when it's babies, I can it's intense. It's intense when you even have 1.
Yeah.
But then they get to be like 6, 7, 8, and they're more independent, and it's just like you got 2 kids.
You got 2 kids.
Right?
I honestly do. I think parents of singletons do not give themselves enough credit. People will be like, "Oh my gosh, you got twins! It's so difficult." I'm like, it's insane for the first 6 months. I will tell you, it is insane for the first 6 months.
Yeah.
But once they could start sleeping through the night, that's when I felt like I kind of turned a corner.
For sure.
And once I kind of got that, then I would watch my friends. These 2. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so much easier.
Yeah.
They entertain each other in the morning. They're like the closest friends. They like talk to each other all the time. It's like their own little entertainment program.
Right.
I really don't think singleton parents give themselves way enough credit.
We're going to talk to, we'll talk to both of you after the show just about the feeding them, because that is often the thing that keeps you up. If they're snacking, if 1 is snacking constantly, never mind 2 snacking constantly, what do? We're going to hold that answer and put it online. That's cityline.ca. And for now, since we're talking a bit about sleep, everyone in today's audience will take home natural calm magnesium in raspberry lemon flavor and a magnesium spray. As well, after the show, we'll be drawing for a natural calm prize pack, which includes natural calm plus calcium and heavenly sleep liquid melatonin. You need it. It helps.